Falcon fans, Falcon fans, Falcon fans, and of course, Falcon fans. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. One time for the fan. Back talking Falcons football. Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast. T-Will. We up late tonight, and we do have a special guest joining us. So, Falcon fans, I hope y'all feeling good. Go ahead and tag your friends. Tell your Falcons family that One Time for the Fan is live. We are lit. Shout out to Bodie. Shout out to Carrie. Shout out to T-Will. And also shout out to A1 in the building. What's the word, my good friend?
Man, what's good, man? Out here in the field trying to get my behind back to the house. But I just couldn't turn down the opportunity to come on the illustrious One Time for the Fan, the podcast that's, by the fan, for the fan, But, just wanted to come on here, show some love with my brothers, Jack Spade, T-Will, man. Thank you guys for having me. Always a pleasure to do a podcast with you fellas, man.
Man, I'm the one who feels left out, A1, because you just did a podcast with Terry the other day talking Hawks.
Yeah.
I had to come over there and talk Hawks for just a minute, but I had to throw some Falcons in there too as well. But it's been a while since I got a chance to talk with the fans. But with the way the Falcons have been going and the way this city's just so, lit right now off of Falcons football, man, I do apologize for joining the Hawks podcast you guys had and turned it to the Falcons, but
hey, it's
I'm just
all
a diehard Falcon fan, man. I'm sorry, brother.
It's all love, man. It's all good. At the end of the day, at least you were still talking Atlanta.
There you go.
That's what it's all about, man. T-Will, how's everything going for you, sir? Since the last time we talked, man, the Falcons had to go into a tough match against the Dallas Cowboys, but came away with a win. We're feeling good. We're feeling great. T-Will, how you doing over there, sir?
Man, I'm doing well. I wish these Falcons would take it easy on the old ticker here, but at the end of the day, we won, and that's all that matters. And man, I'm doing great, bro. Let me tell you something. I'm with two men that I respect dearly, and love to do podcasts with, and love talking Falcons, man. Well, I love talking Falcons, Brave Dogs, Hawks, everybody. So I'm just excited, man. Let's I'm excited about these Falcons. We didn't make a move yesterday. But that's okay. Obviously Raheem and staff and everybody. And let me give Terry his respect. Terry F. Baby and Raheem decided that, what we have in
your neighbors, brothers, uncle, cousins, I know.
Yeah, for sure.
My fifth cousin twice removed. Yeah. But evidently they felt that what they have is good enough. And, we'll see. Now, to their credit, the Falcons did get 3 sacks in the game against the Cowboys. Mind you, I think that Cowboys line was depleted. Mm-hmm. I don't know that they were at full strength. I don't know that they're a great defensive line anyway, but they did get more sacks. They did get 3 sacks, which is, I don't know that they've had 3 sacks in a game.
They got a loss too.
Who got a loss? You talking about the Cowboys?
Cowboys. Yeah.
We got 3 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Falcons got 3 sacks. We got a victory, but more importantly, maybe they're doing some things differently with the scheme. I noticed that Judon was not in there as often, and maybe they're resting him, figuring, okay, we can get more out of him if he's fresher. Because I noticed that they did rotate the lines a lot more.
I believe that was part of the report. They said after the game that that was, they wanted to get Judon a little bit less snaps, I guess, to get the rotation moving around a little bit better, so that way they can
gotta see what you have.
Gotta see what you have on different sides, man. Of course, with Judon getting the amount of snaps that he had previously, he still wasn't be able to reach the quarterback. But what he did on Sunday, I mean, he was able to create some pressure in multiple ways, and that pocket was pushing, man. So big shout out to the defensive line, man. Yeah,
man. Hey, man, real quick, man. Shout out to Damone Harris. Somebody who has came in and been a breath of fresh air since he's been activated. He comes in, he's a veteran, but he plays like he wants it every single snap. And he's got tackle for losses, quarterback hits. And my thing is he's giving the quarterback something else to think about, which is helping, us in the defensive line as well. So I've been seeing them, pretty much making a difference. And also in the run game. So I've been seeing them making a difference anyway. So shout out to DeBone.
Hey, Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. For those that do not know, A1 Forever is here talking Falcons football with us on our, I guess the middle of the week, but for us, it's our first podcast right here. So it's the start of the Hate the Saints week as we get ready to head down to Nawlins this weekend for a big battle down in the Superdome. Falcon fans, if you're heading down to New Orleans this weekend, we do have some parade and party info because it's looking like with the firing of Dennis Allen and, of course, the trading of Marshawn Lattimore, A1, we're going to get to that here in just a little bit.
Yes.
The Saints are done. Saints are done, bro.
Stick a fork in them.
Stick a fork in them, A1.
Hey, man, to be honest with you, I say stick a fork in them just because they're the aints. But you got to be honest, though, Jack. You know football, man.
Yeah.
You know rivalry football at that. No matter how sorry, no matter how trash these aints are going to be, we're still going to get their best effort because they actually think they're about to bounce back. They think they're about to pull a Seahawks. You know, that's what they're thinking down there in New Orleans. But we got a rude awakening because we learned from that Seahawks game. That's what I'm gonna believe, especially after
the players too as well.
Yeah, man. He's like, no, we're not going out like that. This is a new Falcons. We're gonna stomp you into the ground. That's how we need to do the Saints, the aints. That's how we need to do it. The aints, the can'ts, the stanks, all of them. Whatever name you want to use.
Call them out. We got time. We got time. A1. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm like, seriously though, we got to take care of business because this has turned into a trap game. Don't you guys feel like, at least, somewhat that this game has turned into a trap game? You got the classic case of firing the head coach, trying to, change the energy, change the demographic of how the season is going, change the direction of where the season is going. And, they want what better way to do it against the Falcons? That's what they're thinking. We're thinking absolutely freaking not.
What we're thinking is this guy right here is part of the plan of why we're going to be going to the playoffs shortly. Probably winning the division, outrunning the South is all in Raheem and Jimmy Lake, and of course Zach Robinson. Of course, this guy right here. A1, let's talk about Kirk Cousins quickly, man. As the Saints prepare for this loss, what did you see Sunday from Kirk Cousins, man? That's pretty much you've been seeing all season from Kirk, because fans they couldn't believe that. Where we are right now in the standings, where we are right now with possibly, winning the division, that Kirk Cousins is the guy to lead the way. So for the fans that, had those negative thoughts on Kirk early in the year, that didn't believe in Kirk Cousins, just lay it on the line right here for those fans. Just tell us what you just thoughts about Kirk Cousins on Sunday and just how he's been the whole season since he's been here.
Well, Kirk Cousins on Sunday, he was, further, he's more getting into the system, more getting into the offense. You can tell he's getting more and more comfortable. I still can't believe that, he took off running the other game. But it's just like, my thing is, overall, if I just had to compact it into one word, I would just say confidence. Kirk Cousins has confidence, not only within himself, but you can tell he's getting confidence with Zach Robinson calling the games. You can also feel like Kirk Cousins is demanding what he wants from the offense. He calls out the audibles. He is the coach that is on the field, but he's the player coach on the field. So he's making everyone better. He really is. And these receivers, they're getting open. Drake London, number one receiver, always had the potential, but we just needed to see it. And we are seeing that now with Kirk Cousins out there throwing the ball. Darnell Mooney, man, Justin Fields almost killed this man's career. Justin Fields almost made this man a scrub because there was questions about Darnell Mooney coming into the season. I know I had some. Maybe some of you guys did too.
A lot of us did have some questions about Mooney, but to hear that Kirk Cousins wanted Mooney, and now you see what's going on during the season, I'm glad that Kirk Cousins was able to step up as a leader and request a guy like Mooney, because he has been a big target and an impact for the Falcons so far. Sorry to cut you off, Chris. Go ahead.
Oh, no. You was cooking right there, because that's pretty much what I was just saying, what I was going to say as well. That we had questions about Darnell. He's answered those questions weeks ago. And now he's looking like a steal. Remember when we were saying, oh man, we paying Darnell Mooney too much? Some of us. Again, I'm included in that because I had questions. But again, he's answered them, and he is actually a steal now. And you can look at it to where it's like, okay, you can make an argument on a certain team. He may go and take the starting job, the number one job, just because how well he's playing. He's finding the zone. He's taking the top off. He's catching the football. He's coming out the backfield with it. He even threw the football once this year. So it's just like he's a complete player. and we have that at a steal of a deal because he really looks like he deserves more money.
He's
But
on pace too as well for 1,000 yards this season. Of course, with what
we're gonna have
8 games.
we're gonna have two guys with 1,000 yards at least. At least two receivers with 1,000 yards. Going to have
You don't think Pitts can get it too as well?
Pitts, he can, but the thing that could hinder Pitts is number 7. Number 7 could possibly hinder Kyle Pitts because I mean, Bijan is having a all pro year type of a year, especially the past couple of games. Mm-hmm. Honestly, he's been running so hard lately. I want to say since the Seahawks game, it seems like Bijan has been running so hard, and he's like juking guys. He's like showing his elusiveness, his shiftiness, fast twitch, all that stuff, man. It's like he is putting it all together. Could it be?
It's possible that Kyle Pitts can get it. I mean, he about 75 yards per game coming up.
He's almost at 500 right now, so it's very possible that we can have 3 guys with 1,000 yards plus a back that has, over 1,000 yards all purpose.
We have to keep in mind that Drake London too as well might not be playing Sunday. Don't want to get thrown out there right now, but he's
out resting, bro.
Yeah, he's out resting right now. We do want to make sure Drake is going to be fine. But when you have a lead like this in the South, like kind of like with the Justin Simmons situation, he went through a couple weeks ago, you can keep him out for a game because your team is so sound. The unit is so tight. The chemistry is there. They have gelled, right? They have become a team that they can trust each other upon communication, upon adjustments, wherever they are on the field. So if he was to miss a Drake London, as you've heard, I think through one of the coaches, they have other players who can step up in those roles. Cordero Hodge, I must say, has been a really big target. That touchdown on the Bucks kind of showed that. I mean, we saw his special teams ability this season, but the touchdown on the Bucks kind of showed this team is really good. Right,
yeah,
I'm talking about the one where he scored the one at the house at the Benz.
Yeah, the Thursday night football one, the legendary game, man. It's still people still watching that game too, man. They're still getting views off of that game.
I hope you are, because the season highlights this year for what we're gonna go through at the end of the season is going to be amazing. I hope we do make it to the Super Bowl. I hope we do win this motherfucker, because right now the way we are playing shows that our 2024 season has met the expectation of what fans wanted. Every single fan wanted a winning season. Right now, you have halfway through the mark a winning season. I know the first 4 games were tough, but we talked about that. But you got to win in late October. You got to win in late November. And the Falcons are taking advantage of these of these wins in these situations where right now, as a fan, I know A1, Terry, fans in the chat, fans listening and watching, I know that right now the Falcons are probably going to the playoffs. And sure, just like a Chiefs fan right now, right? Just like give me another point, give me another fan, give me another team who's decent right now. Just like a Lions fan,
right? Yeah.
Just like a Ravens fan, you're going to the playoffs. Well, guess what, Falcon fans? You should feel good, because right now I'm telling you, right here before we get ready to go whoop the Saints in the Superdome and sweep the Saints. Go 5-0 in the division. We're going to beat the Panthers too. 6-0 in the division. Mm-hmm. We're going to the playoffs, right? Get that playoff money ready, Falcon fans.
And I ain't gonna lie to you. If we go mess around and go 6-0 in the division, when was the last time the Falcons even did that?
Bro,
have the Falcons
have the Falcons even done that?
That's what I'm saying. Have the Falcons have ever went undefeated in division and swept everybody, broomstick everybody? I'm like that. That's a question right there for you. And if it hasn't, we have the chance to make history and for the franchise. So all we gotta do is take care of business on Sunday against a team who you should beat, a team who you should definitely kick while they're down. Because if they had the opportunity, they would try to slaughter us. Oh, you don't believe me? Did you see the last game of the season last year?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When they dropped that 48 on us.
Went for the touchdown at the last minute.
I'm just saying, man, let the disrespect that they did be just as loud when we come down there.
And the cool thing about it is you don't have to go for a touchdown at the end of the game with this group of Falcons. You're going to go out there and beat them soundly. You're going to go out there and beat them how they're supposed to be beating the Super Dump. Them fans are going to get up and walk up out of there in the end of the second quarter. I get a chance to move closer. I think I'm like row 5. Get a chance to move closer to row 1, right? So Saints fans, hey man, you better be watching what the Falcons are doing, because I know how some of these fans are feeling right now, especially after a loss to the Panthers. We're going to get around to what's going around the NFL in just a second here. But Terry, let's get into how the Falcons dusted off the Cowboys. Jerry Jones definitely not looking good after walking up out of the Benz right there. The food was great. I'm sure he looked at the food prices and realized AT&T got to get their shit together. But Terry, your thoughts, man, on just Kirk Cousins, Bijan Robinson, this defense. Grady Jarrett was getting after it. You heard Damone Harris from A1 was as he got after it. Trey Anderson is back this week too as well. But Terry, just talk to us about Falcons Cowboys, man. What did you see on Sunday? What were you paying attention to? What were you watching the most? How excited are you to be on this another winning streak so far this season? 2 win streaks so far this season for the Falcons. So this is great heading down into New Orleans. But Terry, before we start hating on the Saints again because they're fucking trash, give us your thoughts on the Falcons Cowboys from Sunday, because the chat is live and lit. I one, you know, our original time was 8:00, right?
Yeah.
Right. But we switched it to 9, and of course tonight we were super busy with some things we had to take care of, and I was super busy with work, so we had to do it for 10:30. But the chat is stupid live right now at 10:30 at night, bro. At 11 o'clock at night, the chat is lit.
That's how Falcon fans are. You know, we're all purpose, all ready, all time. You know, so shout out to the Falcons faithful, baby.
Hey, how about them first place Atlanta Falcons? Terry, let's talk Falcons Cowboys, man. How did the Falcons dust off the Cowboys in your opinion?
I thought it was a great effort. For me, it was a tale of two games, tale of two cities, so to speak. Right up to that 27th point, I was okay with the effort. I mean, we did great. We kind of started to coast a little bit, and let me be honest about the dynamic. Okay, let me be honest about the dynamic, because I try to be just transparent with you guys. I'm a lifelong Falcon fan. I've been a Falcon fan for at least 45, 48 years. What does that mean, T. Will? Why are you bringing that up? Well, what that means is I have trauma. What up, BLB? I have trauma from watching us lose leads, right? Specifically with the Cowboys, we were in this scenario 2 seasons ago where we were up by 3 scores. And we ended up losing it. They kicked the onside. They came back in the second half, scored a bunch of points, kicked an onside kick, and ended up winning the game. So as I'm watching this game, in the back of my mind, I'm dealing with the trauma. I'm dealing with the ghost of Falcons past. Like, it's about to happen again. It's about to happen again. And I'm like, no. I'm embracing my inner Eric Parker, because Eric always believes no matter what. I'm like, no, we're going to pull this out. My point is, we got I don't want to say complacent, but we kind of eased up off the pedal. When we got the ball back with 5 minutes, I think we might have had it for 10 seconds, and maybe they called timeout. But what I would have liked to have seen is, I would have liked to have seen us go on a drive for about 3 minutes, kill about 3 minutes off the clock, give them back the ball with 2 minutes left, down 2 possessions, and it's pretty much over.
It's crazy how you mentioned killing the clock too as well, because the Falcons have been doing a decent job winning the games this season with time of possession. So, Terry, you talked about that in some of the losses we had this year, where you had to control the clock and run a certain amount of plays to, keep the chains moving. And the Falcons have been doing a great job of that over the past couple of weeks. I don't know if it was Zach Robinson talking to his offense or was Raheem talking to the team, but some way, somehow, they realize, hey, look, we got to control this clock. Time of possession has been working in their favor. And so far, you can see what the record has presented. Terry?
So, yeah, I would have liked to have seen that be better. Other than that, we got 3 sacks. We dominated on offense. And you know what? We left some plays off the field. We probably could have put up 48, 50 points on them. But again, I'm not going to look at these are first world problems. There's some teams that can't score 27 points. So I'm not complaining.
Right.
We got a quarterback. We got receivers. We have an offense. And I think in week 9, I don't want to jinx it, but I'm going to officially say our offense has arrived. Our offense is here. I don't think you're going to stop us from scoring 28 points. And, it was a good effort. Defensively, I thought we got after it. I thought we just got to stop the run. We gotta figure out a way to stop the run.
Yeah,
Outside of that, it was a great effort. We won. Probably should have won by a little more, but honestly, the one thing I like about this Falcon team is that they are winning games that previous Falcon regimes would have lost.
That is true. Falcon fans, let's go to the chat too as well. I know y'all live. I know y'all lit because I have a question to ask A1 and Terry. You can definitely chime in here because you just brought up a good point about the Falcons offense. Terry, matter of fact, let's just get through this question quickly before we get to the chat. A1, Terry, have the Falcons found their identity?
A1, go ahead, brother.
I would say that the Falcons have found their identity. Mm-hmm. It's almost like we can run the ball if we need to. We can definitely air the ball out, and that's something that's very important. We haven't been able to air the ball out since really like the last year that Matt Ryan was here, and we had complaints about that. Mm-hmm. So to be able to to have to go 2-3 seasons without somebody that can really just air the ball out and get it to the receivers and get it to them accurately. You know what I'm saying? Accuracy has always been something that we've been complaining about too. Man, if he just would put it on the receiver here, a ball placement, So we have all of that now. We have a true quarterback that can get our receivers the ball. And do you see the smiles on Mooney's face? Do you see the smiles on Drake London's face? Even Tyler, Kyle, everybody, when they're getting the passes and when it's their time for their number to be called, they're showing up. And that's because of the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? The Falcons are a team that can run the ball, yes. But I believe we have definitely turned into a team that can pass the ball and will pass the ball because, my goodness, I think it's a stat to where the Falcons only have like 9 3-and-outs out of like 93 snaps on offense. And it's just like that lets you know that, yeah, we don't have a lot of long drives, but we're quick striking. Like we're putting points on you. So we're putting drives together and we're putting up points. So I believe we're a quick strike offense that needs to, as the season progresses, we need to get into the time of possession more because we know most games we don't control that. And that's because we're quick striking.
Let's get back off of that, Chris. You're getting ready for the playoffs. You have to know how to control the clock.
Hello. Thank you, Jack. You know where I'm going, brother. You know where I'm going, but I think they have their identity. We're a passing team, but we have 2 bruisers that can just, that we're going to have to actually deploy more as the season goes on. You know that you're going to have to run the ball because they know we're a passing team.
Seeing the Detroit Lions win recently, I believe it was a week or 2 ago, with them, Jared Goff only had like less than 125 yards and they had like 50 points on the board. Like, different teams find ways to win, but when you're playing a team like that, I mean, you definitely have to be careful. You see what the Minnesota Vikings have been doing with Sam Darnold right now too as well. And just to hear Sam Darnold's comments the other day about how he's been in different quarterback rooms and he's just waited for his moment pretty much.
Yeah.
This is like the season of revamped quarterbacks. Like, I mean, a lot of these quarterbacks that were considered backups at one point, A1 and Terry, now they're getting their chance to be a starter. I mean, Baker Mayfield has a decent contract in Tampa. He's going on now to try to lead them to do not much, but we got swept by us. But at least he was doing, a decent job from what we saw last year. He's not too bad of a quarterback this year, but I mean, still got swept by us. You see Sam Darnold. You saw Andy Dalton in Carolina, right? You see Joe Flacco too as well in Indianapolis. I mean, Gardner Minshew in Las Vegas. So a lot of these backup quarterbacks have the opportunity. You look at Derek Carr. Oh shit, my bad. But how did he become a starter? But
it's
fans,
funny though, bro. It's funny that you say something about Gardner. I don't even know if Gardner's going to be the quarterback by the time we get to Vegas.
Yeah, I don't know either.
And I feel like it's going to be Desmond Ridder trotting out there against the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah,
wouldn't that be ironic?
Oh my gosh,
that's the universe, man. I wouldn't be surprised.
Penix that game too as well. Like, Kurt, you can sit down for this one. Penix, go handle the young buck.
We're definitely going to run Kurt out there just to show everybody definitively, hey, we have a quarterback. See what happens when you got a quarterback? Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Look at that. Yeah,
I must say, as a Falcon fan going to Carolina and Tampa this year, even on the road, telling fans That's what you get when you pay $100+ million. That is $100 million quarterback. Like fans just looking at me like, Jesus Christ, I hate this guy. And we won.
Because you're right.
Because I'm right.
You're right.
I was telling them down in Tampa, that's what you get with $100 million. Telling them Carolina, Red Rocket. Who's the Red Rocket? What do they say? Red Rifle? Whatever the guy's name is.
Whatever it is.
Rifle.
But still, man. Like,
2 points.
What's up, T?
That number one, who we are. I believe our identity. We are an offensive team, but I believe our identity is we can run it, we can throw it, and we're going to do whatever it takes to win.
Mm-hmm.
And we, for the most part, we don't panic. One of the things that I love about this team to this point thus far, with the exception of that Seattle game, you see us get rattled. You don't see us panic. You don't see us do that. We've won in multiple situations. We've won when we were up. We've won when we were behind.
Telling the truth.
We've been able to do it either way. And that is a trait of championship teams. Does that mean we'll win the championship? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I look at certain traits and
building blocks.
That's number one.
And to piggyback off of finding ways to win, we won by special teams this season with Koo winning the kick. We won by passing the ball with Kirk Cousins going over 500 yards in a game. Like, there's different ways we have to do it. I think Bijan even had a game where we won, but it was close to 200 yard plus rushing attack on the ground. So we have found different ways to win. And, of course, defensively, we have found different ways to win too as well, Terry. Yeah, man, you got it, T.
And then the second point is in regards to quarterbacks. I think this is more so a light being shined on different organizations and how they manage quarterbacks and how they get the most out of their people. Okay?
Right.
So my daddy, Mr. Willie J. Wilson, we'd often have conversations about life. He was my dad. But one thing he would often say when it came to sports, and we had this conversation over and over again, and I hated it, but now that I'm a grown man, I understand it. He said, son, a good coach can take your team, can take his team and beat your team. And then he can turn around and take your team and beat his team. And on the surface, it just sounds like he's a good team. No, what it means is he knows how to get the most out of players. He knows what it takes to resonate with different guys. You can't treat everybody the same. You have to have the same standard, but your interactions with people are different. You have to be able to assess talent and say, okay, this guy's never going to succeed in a 3-4. He's never going to succeed in a 4-3. He's never going to succeed in shotgun. Whatever it is, you have to be able to evaluate that. And specifically with Baker, specifically with the guy for the Vikings, I can never think of
Sam
Darnold, you are seeing that these coaches have taken it and said, okay, this guy doesn't do this well, but he does this. And he does that. And we're going to give him an environment where he can thrive. That's where it shows. Again, guys, just because you can call defenses does not mean you are a head coach. Does not mean you are a leader. We have seen time and time again. Just because you can call offenses, just because you can call an offense to score 30, 50 points, doesn't mean that you are a leader of men, doesn't mean that when you echo whatever your commands are, that it resonates with people, right? We can even look at Kirk Cousins for that. These guys will probably run through a wall for him. They love him. Why?
Love him.
He's a leader of men. So that was the point. That was all I was saying. That was it. But
all right. Now everybody in the chat, please go ahead and get your plates ready because T Will just cooked and we're gonna have rations.
Hey man, it's going down in a major way. Big shout to T Will, big shout to A1 forever talking Falcons football with us here tonight. C Double is in the chat. Still getting my job at 11 o'clock at night. That's how much work I do. My job at home. They love me. They love me. I'm on the way to New Orleans too, in a couple hours. So they're like,
yes, sir.
Please don't go. Stay one more day. But no, we're going down there to go beat the Saints. C Double's in the chat. False Start Falcon is in the chat. Good to see False Start Falcon back.
False Start, what it do?
False Start has been rocking with us for a very long time, and for our shout outs tonight, big shout out to False Start Falcon, man, because there's a lot of Falcon fans that's been on our podcast since day one, and when we've had like 100 subscribers and 200 subscribers, and since we jumped up over 1,000, man, I just want to say thank you. to everybody who's been so supportive one time for the fans. So
Man,
thank you all so much. Ron Thomas is also in the chat too as well.
Ron everywhere.
In the chat. Also, Deshaun Coswell is here in the chat talking Falcons football with us. Zay in the back is also in the chat with us. Ina. Zay, man, big shout out to Zay. We also on a Twitter space with Zay the other day for almost an hour and a half, man. Talking Falcons football. So A1, big shout out to Zay, man. We got to crank these Twitter spaces up, man. We got to crank these Twitter spaces up because, the bye week coming up. Hell, we might even do a get together, man. Get some people out to come hang out, watch other teams lose because we're getting ready for the goddamn playoffs, man. Big shout out to Zay, man.
What it do?
Former ATL Sports. What's Terry? What the hell? Wow.
Terry's in the chat. Terry's in the chat and on the panel.
Lisa, the only people missing are Tiff and Jabari.
Because Terry will sit right there and he's looking at you, and you don't even know that Terry's using his hands. He's over here typing at the bottom of the screen.
It's like that when you have multiple monitors. You're just used to doing multiple things.
Hey, Terry's in the Matrix, man. Terry's in the Matrix.
You got to do
it.
Travis Preston, man, is in the chat. We're going undefeated in division playoffs. Here we come. Travis Preston, you're a believer. You've been in this chat for a while. You know how we are here on One Time for the Fan, man. We love talking Falcons football. We love talking Falcons football in a positive way. And, of course, with this team doing so well. And don't forget, Travis, you've been here talking Falcons football when we were losing, man. When we were not talking playoffs. When we were not talking winning the division. We were talking about who we're going to draft next season around the end of December. We don't want that no more. Everything that Terry, A1, glad that you're here. Everything that Terry and Raheem said pretty much this offseason, they stood on. Right or wrong?
Yeah, you might as well say it for the most part. Yeah, you really got to.
They talked about they don't want to be top 10 in drafting.
We won't be.
You won't be. You're gonna probably have to trade back up to get a guy in the top 15. The way that the Falcons are moving now, we're going up there. Hell, we're getting closer to that 26, 27, 28 mark. Now, if you're looking at Raheem, we talked about outrunning the South. How many games are we ahead in the division right now? A1?
2.
2 games ahead in the division. Don't forget, 3 games.
3 games ahead
now. In the division.
Okay.
The fucking Bucks, the sorry ass Bucks just lost the other night.
Yeah, because they're like 4 and 5, right?
And we swept them. We swept them.
Yeah.
The tiebreaker. So we are up standings, but it's really 3 because if we finish with the same record as them, it's a wrap.
No, that's right. That's right.
Who would have thought?
When you put it in that perspective, that is absolutely right. You said who would have thought
that a team
Falcon fan
started out 2-0? I said that a team that started out 2-0.
He's still right.
They had NFL teams, man, watching the Saints like this team is hosting the Super Bowl this year. They started out 2-0. They were smacking Carolina. They smacked Dallas.
They scored 94 points in 2 games.
I remember sitting there in Philadelphia watching the game like, holy shit, we got to play this team coming up. No way, man. No way this is the Saints team. And then the boat stopped. The boat stopped coming back. It stopped coming back with the crawfish.
They woke up.
There was no more crawfish in the bag. I'm using my country voice. There was just no more crawfish in the bag, Bo.
So
no more crawfish.
For the first 2 games, they had the Power Stone. They borrowed it from Thanos.
Shit.
Right about game 3, I think Thanos came back and got it. And
he realized, he was like, hold on, the aints ain't supposed to have this. I'm going to take this right on back.
Right. That's what happened. Either that or it's 12 o'clock and, Cinderella turned back into whatever she's going to turn into. Whoa. But, bottom line is, look, I was never worried about the Saints for one reason.
The opponents they played starting out anyway.
I was never worried about the Saints because they're the Saints, and just off sheer will, even when we play them, they can have great records. They're going to get our best, win or lose. So I was not worried about the Saints. There are a couple of I was worried about the Eagles. I was worried about the Chiefs. The Saints, it never even entered my mind. I don't give a damn if they scored 150 in those first 2 games. Saints Falcons is always going to be a fight. Even this upcoming Sunday, it ain't gonna be a cakewalk. It's gonna be a fight.
Yeah.
Number one, they just fired their coach.
Yeah.
Everybody
trying to get that boost.
They are also still shorthanded with a lot of players that's banged up. Of course, they just made a trade. Marshawn Lattimore is out the building too as well. And here comes Kirk Vember heading down to New Orleans.
But Jack, you're still going to get. I'm not saying the Saints are going to win. I'm saying you're going
to.
No.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Definitely going to be a battle. I mean, a rival game always puts up. You saw what Carolina did too as well. The Bucks, both games was a battle. I expect the battle this weekend until the second quarter.
Right.
But yeah.
And they hated Dennis. They didn't respect him. The fact that they ran that play on fourth down last year shows they did not respect him, right? And it got worse this year. This is a new guy, and not that they love him, but guess what? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. They hated Dennis Allen. So they're going to come together and say, look at guys, let's give it a collective effort. Let's go out there and get their best. Now, we still should win this game. I'm not saying that, but it is a trap game because we're going to get the best effort other than the first 2 weeks that the Saints have output this year. So we got to go in.
That's true. That's true, y'all. But wait, T. Will. But wait. I'm sorry, brother. Like, you right. And we all been talking about how this is going to be a rivalry game. But the way that our offense has been clicking, if we execute properly and efficiently, don't kill the drive with penalties, because they're going to be rowdy down there. But as long as
if they show up.
Right. As long as we're on schedule. You know how they talk about keeping the offense on schedule?
Yeah.
Do that, man. At the end of the day, we're going to handle business.
Yeah.
That team is not on the same plateau as the Falcons right now.
No, they're not.
Yes.
On any level. Confidence-wise, talent-wise.
Coaching-wise, everything.
None of that, bro.
Price of the food in the stadium too as well. We're gonna turn up. It's gonna be live. It's gonna be lit.
Food, taste anything.
And one time for the fan, we'll be down there in Nawlins this weekend. So definitely want to head on over to the One Time for the Fan Instagram page, man. Because starting from tomorrow, it's going down in the Bayou. So all you Falcon fans out there that want to see what's going down in New Orleans, man, head on over to the IG page. We'll be posting a lot of content over there this weekend. Probably going to do another podcast too as well because I have my setup with me. So, Terry, look for a podcast this week. I know Chef Matt, Senior Executive Chef Matt, had a conversation with him the other day. What's up, what's up, A1?
No, I said I had seen Chef as well this weekend. Said what's up to him.
Well, let me guess. He was on the run, wasn't he?
Of course he was.
Yep. From one side of the stadium to the other side, man. Big shout out to Chef Matt, Senior Executive Chef Matt. Chef's Corner, it's happening this week, y'all. He's going to give us this nice chef's recommendation for if you can't make it to New Orleans and you want to prepare a dish that gives you that Louisiana vibe. Oh, Chef Matt going to take care of you, man. So the Chef's Corner is going to be starting up this week. Thank you so much, Chef Matt, man. We've been talking about this for a while now. Now we get a chance to put it out there. But let's go quickly to the division here. Falcons 6-3, Buccaneers 4-5, Panthers 2-7 with a big win over the Aints on Sunday, and the Saints sitting at 2-7. They fired Dennis Allen. They trade Marshawn Lattimore. Cam Jordan doesn't even know which way the locker room is after the game. And right now, Falcon fans, you are sitting in first. The report has came out. I believe I want to get it correct here because I can go pull up the stat. The Aints need to go. I think it's 7-1 or 7 or 8.
They go like 8-0 or something.
Have to go like 8-0. The Bucks have to go 7-1, and the Falcons I think have to go just 4-4. And Falcon fans, here comes the playoffs. Now we have to go look at the rest of the season. You have the Saints at 2-7 on Sunday. Some would say it's a trap game. Some would say it's a blowout. But you still have to go out there and play football. Next week, you head to Denver, who just had a embarrassing loss against the Baltimore Ravens this past weekend. And then they have to play the Chiefs on Sunday. So some would say the Denver game is going to be a trap game when they come out of their 2-game losing streak. But Falcon fans, this team has been playing so well. I would feel less confident in a trap game with the last year's team, knowing how the quarterback played and how the offense was running.
Yep.
This year, when people say it's a trap game, I'm like, yeah, but Kirk Cousins is fucking balling, dog. Like, I do understand what a trap game is now. Because that Charger game, I think, is going to be a trap game. That's a trap game. That Charger game. What's up, everyone?
CBS. It's on CBS, the dreaded CBS.
CBS games too as well. But the Falcons,
Nah, we ain't got to worry about that, man. We got a quarterback.
yeah, it's not even it's just the quarterback is just one level. I mean, Bijan, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Mooney, these stars that we mentioned now, they really mean something. It's an impact now to see that Drake London is doing what he's doing so far this season. Drake London, he destroyed Diggs on that touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
But also, that doesn't happen if the ball placement is not correct.
Placement, accuracy. I hope Michael Penix is watching too as well, because that's going to be your moment soon, right? Yeah. Might be a totally different team shaped around Michael Penix at that time, but when he gets that chance, hey, man, go for gold, man, because Kirk Cousins right now, and this is going to go down the line, Terry, I talked to you the other day. If Kirk gives you a successful season this year and a successful season next year and a successful season going the year, what are you going to do if Kirk wants to continue playing until he's 41, 42 years old? What are you going to do? If you're in the playoffs from here on out, Terry, if you're winning division from here on out the next 3-4 years, what are you going to do? Let him go?
Okay, so a more realistic, let's say in the next 2 years or in the next 3, we win a Super Bowl, right?
Then he'll probably retire.
Kirk retiring.
He's retiring.
Even if he doesn't retire,
you still have to keep him for a couple years.
To me, that's more. Let's say we win the Super Bowl week 3 of Kirk and his regime, and we win year 3 of Kirk and his regime. We win the Super Bowl, right? You're going to tell me you're not going to renew him if he wants to come back for a 4th year? You're going to say, no, hit the open market? No, you're not. You just won a Super Bowl, right?
Wouldn't be the brightest move.
It depends on Kirk's success.
You let him play that 4th year out.
Yeah. Well, and what if you go back to back?
If you go back to back, then guess what? That's a decision and a time that we're going to have to talk about that after we go back to back. With that, that has to actually happen before we start talking about more money. I'm not going to give Kurt, because I don't want to give Kurt an extension, because what is that saying to Michael Penix? If anything, you let him just play that last year out. And then at the end of that, if you're hosting at Lombardi for the 2nd year in a row after his 4th year, then we're going to have to start making some decisions, because it's like, all right, dang, do we bring him back for another year? We just went back to back. Or is it time to move on? And especially like Kurt should want to retire after that. Really. But if he does want to come back for a 5th year, do you sign him or do you let Michael Penix roll? That's
we're actually getting to a point to talk about these things, because it's possible that it can happen. It is. Remember, I always say, once you punch your ticket, I saw it in 2016. I saw when they said, "Oh, here comes the Seahawks to the Benz." All right, cool, bring them.
Yeah.
All right, here comes the Packers to the Benz. All right, cool, bring them. The team was so set up; it was like, I don't care. Who do we play? That's how I'm feeling right now. Who do we play? When Raheem says, "Who the is next?" Yep. That's how I feel as a fan too right now. Like, who is next?
Yeah. So to kind of compare another lefty, Steve Young sat on the bench 87 to 90, which is 4 seasons. It's 3 years, but it's 4 seasons. 87, 88, 89, 90. He sat on the bench for 4 years because, again, you got to think about it. San Francisco won, I think they won in 88 or 89 or both. I think they won 2 years within that, right? They Super Bowl twice within that time frame. And it's the exact same thing. So that's why I'm bringing that up. Again, we even if we're playing well, we haven't hit our stride yet.
Yes.
We have not. And once we do hit our stride, this year or next, if we do win it, that's a conversation that's going to have to be had. So, contingent upon our success, Penix could be on the bench for 4 or 5 years.
And you want to know something else to add to that point? I did a video earlier before the season even started talking about this. And Kirk Cousins didn't even get the starting job fully until he was 27.
Yeah.
In Washington. Because it was a point in time where he had to compete with Colt McCoy. It wasn't even a Robert Griffin there anymore. It was a Colt McCoy in his way. And then finally, at the age of 27, that's when he was able to get the starting job in Washington. And, the legend of Kirk Cousins, started to begin. So my thing is, it's not like it hasn't happened before. It's just the media is so, so has such a nitpick with the Falcons that taking Michael Penix at that time was just so far fetched
Yeah.
to
It's
them.
it's the brand of the Falcons. You know what I mean? Because if Dallas had done it, they'd have been fine with it. If any of those teams from New York had done it, they'd have been fine with it. If Pittsburgh had done it, they'd have been fine with it.
It would have been more tolerable. They still would have said something, but it'd been more tolerable.
Correct.
You know, it'd been tolerated more.
Yeah.
You know, just because of the Falcons, I'm telling you.
No,
it's heightened.
You're 100% right. But here's the thing. Guys, this offense has not yet got this entire team, if I'm being honest with you, has not played a complete game yet. If we play a complete game, watch out.
I was going to give it to the Dallas game until they got down to the onside kick, and I'm like, jeez, not this right now. I was going to give it to them at the Bucs game, but then they fumbled and they scored and the safety, and it's like, not this. No, not this. The Panthers game, you can say, yeah, but the Panthers game the Panthers are horrible. You're supposed to beat them.
Right.
But
we're right there, though, y'all. We're right there. Yeah, that's the good thing.
They're knocking on the door of a full, complete game. But I mean, they're also doing very well in the NFL right now. I mean,
they are.
We're technically sweeping 2 divisions right now.
Oh my gosh, NFL Network and ESPN and commercials are starting to pop up more. Now I'm telling you, man, those playoffs. We're talking playoffs in November because it's very possible. I haven't had a chance to talk about this in years. And I'm going to continue to talk about this, A1. I deserve to talk about this as a fan.
Yes, it feels good right now.
I'm just waiting too long.
We're waiting too long. And another reason why I want to continue to get these win streaks and stack wins, just because as a team, we have not had this success in so long. So we as fans have to get back used to winning. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, stack those wins and get that confidence into guys who haven't won before. But luckily, even though it hasn't been in the playoffs, I understand that. But just somebody who wins games, Kurt is used to winning games. And now he's getting this team used to winning games. Justin Simmons, he's won games. He hasn't, been to the playoffs like that, but he's won games. He knows how to do things. Jesse Bates been to a Super Bowl, so it's just you got all these different guys.
Yeah, Grady Jarrett in there too as well, who's won
Grady. Definitely.
2016, what he was doing with that team too as well. Jake Matthews. That's why there's a lot of players on this team to win a ring for. Right? These players deserve all that hard work and dedication they put out. Grady Jarrett, right now, number one to me, definitely deserves that ring. And then Jake Matthews, I believe too as well, is right there on the list. Falcon Commanders in the chat. Mactown Dirty is in the chat. LBB is in the chat. Eric Parker is in the chat. He's here for Falcon. Hate Week on the Saints. Man, Falcon fans, it's just great to have a winning spirit, right? To know that this team can go out there and beat the Saints on Sunday, right? To know that this team can go beat the Broncos with the players that they have on offense and defense, the coaching level that they have right now is just, it's great, man. It's great. 2 Raw TVs in the chat. Congratulations, y'all. Doing good though, for real. Better than us. I'm guessing 2 Raw TV uncut. He said, I guess he's a Dolphins fan. Oh, big shout out to 2 Raw, man. That's tough. That's tough.
They got dealt a bad hand with what happened to Tua, so that really derailed their season. Because again, I hate to bring it back to the Atlanta Falcons, but I mean, you see what happens when you don't have a quarterback, right?
And speaking of quarterback, I just wanted to make this point. And first and foremost, what up, little brother? How you doing, Eric? You all right?
Shout out Eric Parker in the chat, man.
Yes, sir.
What's most important, right, is the ability to connect with guys. So one of the most talented Falcons arms never really got anywhere because he was an asshole, and that was Jeff George.
Jeff George? Oh, yeah.
Jeff George had it. Jeff George probably could rival. I'm not saying better than. I'm saying in the same ballpark as Mr. Brett Favre, as Mr. John Elway. If I'm going way back, as Mr. Doug Williams. Now, to give you an idea of what Doug Williams could do, if Doug Williams threw the ball to you 20 yards, look out, because he knocked down a receiver. He knocked him down. I don't know if that footage is out there, but that's how much of a rifle he had. Jeff George had that kind of rifle, but he was an asshole. Nobody wanted to play with him, right? And so what I'm saying is, a quarterback not only has to He not only has to know the X's and O's, but he's got to be able to lead the jocks and Joes. I'm gonna write that shit down. That was actually good. But he's got it. I deserve a wow, sir. Can I get a wow?
No, man, you can cheer for that one.
Hey, in all seriousness, Kirk is a leader. He is a leader of men, right? He rallies men. Guys want to play with Kirk. Guys, we've all played football before. We play football with that quarterback that's like, oh, I'm supposed to be here, and you hate that guy. And then we play football with, hey, man, do me a favor. Just do it a little bit. I'll put it right. Where do you want it? I'll put it right. You know what I mean? If you can develop a rapport with your quarterback, you will run through walls for him. And that's what we got.
That's how I felt on that 80 yards on the run play. I felt like my wide receiver ran through the wall for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Coach was watching. Family was in the stands. That type of day.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Cold, rainy night in December, too, as well. Did I tell you the story, too?
It was snowing.
It was a cold, rainy night?
Yeah.
He was barefoot. He was playing bare feet because his cleats got damaged on the play before. And actually, a fan who was just, just overcome with euphoria smashed a glass on the sideline, and Jack happened to run over it. Doing his 80-yard on the run. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the video, there's still blood on his foot, right? As you see him
throwing
fall and then they catch the touchdown and score. It's one of the most miraculous plays ever. Hey,
you know what? Is that the same? Oh, so that's the same one where at the end of the play, they were trying to see about his foot and he was waving them off.
Right. Yeah. He was like, no, I'm fine.
They said you gotta go to the tent. No tent. I'm back out here. No tent.
Because guess what? Not only did they score a touchdown, they went ahead and said, you know what, we got to win the game here. They went for the 2-point conversion, and they got it. They won.
Pulled up Pat Mahomes mid-third quarter.
In?
Yeah, he ran it. Who else? Who else got to run it in? Right? Yeah.
Falcon fans hit that
the legend of the 80 on the run.
The legend of the man, the myth, the legend.
Not too many people has heard that story before, man. But for those that have heard the story, they understand what happened that day. Lisa Shepard's in the chat. Big shout out to Lisa Shepard. C Double, man. Big shout out to C Double. He said Cousins does great with the guys. Oh, he's doing a great with the team right now. He's doing a great job. Mactown Dirty said, did you know them birds are dirty when they score 30? Lisa Shepard said, not an ace, literally asking for prayers. Week 2, they were going to the Super Bowl.
Right. They were. I'm telling you, man, you couldn't tell nobody in New Orleans they weren't going and playing in the Super Bowl.
Mactown Dirty his wow, Jack. Give him his wow.
Mactown Dirty?
Yes, give him his wow. There you go.
Mactown Dirty, you wowed out, man. Karina Atkins is in the chat. See you all in NOLA. Oh, Karina, you'll definitely see us in NOLA, the parade and party information. I will post shortly because there's a lot of fans that's heading down to Nawlins this weekend. Say, hey, fellas, it's been a while. I had surgery the same day the hurricane Helene hit. Just getting back on my feet. I have a question. Should I be worried about our defense? A1?
Should you be worried about the defense? Well, to be honest with you, just because as Falcon fans, we don't really have the luxury to just be comfortable. You know, they never make it like that anyway. So it's always reason to be concerned. But the Falcons, and I know this kind of like ties into the trade deadline a little bit, but the Falcons, they believe in their guys. But that's what they've been telling us in the press conference anyway. We believe in the guys. We're making progress. We think that, the progress that we're making is going to transition to the field. Okay? And you get 3 sacks against Dallas. Now, were they 100%? Possibly not. But at the end of the day, you still seen some production. And you seen production from guys that we were talking about, especially the Albuquerques and the Grady Jarrett's, about the lack of production that we've been seeing from them over the recent weeks. You got sacks. I think that game actually made the Falcons feel good about the progress that they're making and the things that they're saying. They're sticking with the guns. And we've been talking about it. I know we've been talking about it. I'm pretty sure you guys have too. You got to see what you got. Because if you don't see what you have, then you may end up making a crazy move, a desperation move that you possibly may not need it to make. So the Falcons are sticking to their guns, Jack.
I'm definitely agreeing with you because they didn't make a move at the trade deadline. I think they believe that this team can get after it some way, somehow. I mean, we did talk about it the other day, Terry. If you win this game and come away with sacks and don't make a trade, you definitely believe that you can get something going. I mean, Jimmy Lake talked about it last week, where they said they have to go back to practice, they have to go back to the film room, and they have to continue working to prepare to be better this week. And you saw it against Dak, but we also talked about this the other day, Terry. You should get some sacks on Dak. A lot of teams get sacks on Dak. The last time Dak was in our building, I think Adrian Claiborne had like 15 sacks on him. So it's good to see that the defense was getting after him on Sunday, right? But it still was a close game in the end. Dak Prescott also injuring his hamstring too as well. Cooper Rush coming in and throwing a touchdown late. That's something to watch. That shouldn't happen, right? You know what I'm saying? That should be a time where you get 2 more sacks, right? Because I know how some fans think. They look like, oh, let's see, Gardner Minshew's in the game. That's a 5-sack game. Oh, let's see who's in the game. Bo Nix's in the game. That's a 10-sack game. Because they see who the quarterback is and they figure this guy doesn't know how to, how to get it together with the first team. And Cooper Rush jumped in there and he looked like he looked like damn near Dak for a second. But for the most part, the Falcons did come away with a win. But I'm not too worried about this defense. I think the defense has held its own. I saw games this season where what was the game that we punched out the ball? The Tampa game? The Tampa game, they held their own on defense.
Twice, really, the Tampa.
The Philly game, because they came back from Brazil after scoring 30, and then what? They didn't even score 20, 22, 23 points on us.
Right? It was 22-21, wasn't it? The final score?
Right, yeah. So that was pretty good to see that the Falcons defense has been, I would say, somewhat decent this year. I mean, I know they got the 3 sacks on Sunday, and fans were hoping to get, a little bit more in previous weeks. But let's see.
Jack, can't forget that this point too that goes into the trade deadline and believing into the system and the guys. As far as the coaching staff goes, I'm just saying, I think they're looking at it and they like, well, we're not giving up points in the second half outside the Seahawks game. They're not giving up a lot of points in the second half. Like no more than what Tampa they had with 11. I'm sorry, not Tampa. Tampa. They had like 11 points or something like that in the second half. Yeah, Dallas, they had maybe like 11 points in the second half because they had the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Then they also kicked the field goal. So 11 points in the
pancake points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, in the second half, we make adjustments. We're actually a second half team now.
I like seeing that. It sounds like the Georgia Bulldogs too as well. Because I remember, Kirby Smart talking about how the players would go in the locker room and talk first, and then the coaches will come in there and talk, and then they'll go over their adjustments, and they come back out there second half, totally different team. I'm seeing that.
When the hell was the last time we could say the Atlanta Falcons was a second half team?
I used to remember. I remember goddamn long time ago. Remember the Falcons? If the game ended in the third quarter, we'd be one of the best teams in the league. But at one point,
we were damn near undefeated.
Man, what? I mean, the Hawks used to do that shit too. Like, oh yeah, the game ended now. Yeah, the Hawks be great, but there's still 2 more quarters.
Chris,
shout out to the Hawks though, man. They won. They beat them Knicks tonight.
Shout out to I think Zach was going crazy too, right? The rookie was going crazy.
33.
Yeah, but guys, to your point, and I think it also goes back to the point of why we didn't make a trade. If the Falcons, and I'm going to use an analogy here, if the Falcons were a pitcher, they would not be. Oh, I'm sorry. If Jimmy Lake, our beloved defensive coordinator, were a pitcher, he would not be a guy that throws 98 miles an hour. He would be a guy that would lull you to sleep with curveballs, changeups, whatever. And then the second time you went through the lineup, he'd throw you a pitch that you weren't ready for and get you out, right? Meaning Jimmy Lake is great. I'm sorry, Jimmy Lake and Raheem, because it's both their defense. They are great at making second half adjustments. Great at it. Even in the Seattle game, the defense only gave up 10 points. We had a fumble on offense that led to
a touchdown.
That's
a fair point.
Right? So, that may have played a part in the fact that, look it, you, and I've said this I've been beating this drum for about 5-6 weeks. The Falcons are going to slow play you in the first half, right? Because in the NFL, you don't know what the first 15 plays are. They're scripted just for you. So you got to figure it out, right? So you go down, you score 12, you do run 12 plays, you score a touchdown, fine. You come down and you do it again, fine. But here's what we know. We know that offense is all day long, baby. It is all day long. So we're going to either score 10 or 14 points as well. And when we go in at halftime, Raheem and Jimmy are going to come up with the scheme to stop what you're doing. And when you come in the second half, when you come back from the second half, you're not going to score more than 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to outscore you in the second half. And that's how we win. Now, is that good on the heart? No, it's really not. Right? It's almost like a death by a thousand paper cuts when you're watching these guys just run the ball. But it is a formula for winning. And that, I believe, is a part of why they didn't go and get anybody. And then the other part is you don't know what the deal's for. Like, if you go and get Myles Garrett, that's great. But now you got to do 12 different deals on the background.
Mm-hmm.
You probably got to ship him somebody to adjust for that salary, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
we don't know what that was. But just wanted to make that point, gentlemen. Jack,
even looking at, I agree with you, Terry. But even looking at the season, I mean, Falcon fans are demanding dominating wins every single game. Go look at the NFL schedule and some of the scores for the past couple weeks. There's a lot of close games, right? The Ravens to the Steelers to the Bengals. I mean, not every game is a blowout. So you will get those games where it does come down to 4 or 5 points. It may come down to an onside kick recovery. It may come down to a special teams, a field goal kick to win the game. But at the end of the game, a win is a win, right? And what we've been seeing so far from these Falcons is a team that wants to fight. I will say that right there. They will fight like hell. Because even in the Seattle loss when they was down a couple of touchdowns, they still decided to keep the ball in the air, try to keep the chains moving. They didn't just give up, right? Like, you can see a lot of teams that's tanking right now. Even that Panthers Saints game, I was watching it like, well, they're just fighting for draft picks. But a lot of these players don't want to play this game right now, right? Because they know this season's over, and that's what's going down in New Orleans this weekend. We're sending the Saints to Cancun. That's what's going to happen. With the Saints losing to the Panthers, right?
wow.
Let's go ahead and pull this up here. Karina Atkins in the chat. Dwayne Ruffin's in the chat. LaMarcus Boyd in the chat. Carlton Parks. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Joseph Avery is in the chat.
What up,
Talking
Lamar?
Falcons football. Look, we're getting ready to get up out of here because the Falcons. What's up, A1?
No, I'm just saying what's good, everybody.
Oh, man, this is great to have Falcon fans in the chat talking Falcons football with us at 11:41 at night. Everybody's excited. A lot of fans here in the chat is heading down to New Orleans too as well. So I got some information for you all if you're heading down to the Bayou. Now let's head over to the NFC South real quick. We did talk about the Falcons being 6-3 in the division. I'm 6-3, of course, in the NFC South, and then Tampa Bay being 4-5, and Carolina Panthers being 2-7, and the Saints being 2-7. Now you look at Sunday's game against the Saints, and technically, I mean, mathematically, A1, the Falcons win, move to 7-3. Aints go on an 8-game losing streak to 2-8. There's no comeback. There's no Aints. We can still make the. There's none of that. You will probably see that picture that goes around usually in December for most teams, but the picture might be coming out this week for the Saints, where they put a big eliminated stamp right on top of one of their players' edits, whatever they put out there. I think they might use like the captain of the team.
Slap it right on Derek Carr.
It just says eliminated right there on the top of the New Orleans Saints social media. So it's gonna be fun to see with the Falcons getting a win down there in New Orleans. Now let's go over the schedule this week, Terry and A1, because we do have some jam-packed games for some fans that love to watch football. You have the Bucs and the 49ers, a 4-5 Bucs team at home against a 4-4 49ers team. A1, Terry. Christian McCaffrey could possibly be back too as well for this game. You want to outrun the South. The Panthers, let's just forget about the Panthers, right? Let's just forget about them.
No problem.
That's what we normally do. That's what we normally do here on the podcast. We just forget about the Panthers, right? We've been doing that for a couple years now. Let's go to the Saints. You beat the Saints, you move to 7-3. You're outrunning the South. At that point, you really don't even care what's going on with the Bucs game and, of course, the Panthers game. But let's just say you ended up losing to the Saints, right? You definitely need the 49ers to beat the Bucs because you can still outrun the South. You don't want the Bucs to gain any leverage to try to move up in the standings or try to move up even closer in the standings to reach the Falcons because, we're trying to outrun the South here, right? Get closer to 10 wins, 11 wins, 12 wins. So this game Sunday is a meaningful game for the Falcons. I don't expect them to go down there and slouch a bit. I don't expect them to go down there and and just not play to their full potential. I expect this team to go out there and dominate the New Orleans Saints, get the sweep, really show these Saints fans, really show that organization down there that this team is getting ready to win the NFC South. But what's up, A1? Your thoughts on just 49ers Bucks, man?
49ers Bucks, man. This is a perfect game for the 49ers to help out the Atlanta Falcons. For real, man. It's gonna be, honestly, the Bucks are gonna be a hard fought game. The Bucks gonna give 49ers everything that they can handle, but the 49ers are trying to climb back into the NFC really conversation period, because everybody is kind of like holding on to hope for the 49ers, because I hear on shows, well, the 49ers, they're the 49ers, but they've had struggles, so people still have hope for the 49ers to come back. And I believe it's going to be if Christian McCaffrey comes back for the Buccaneers, you want to see what he's going to be like. He may be on a snap count, the minutes. I was about to say minutes restriction. That's basketball, but but he may be on a snap count for real. And I think that would be wise bringing him back. You don't want to run him into the ground, but him just being back would help the 49ers tremendously. Seriously, their morale, if nothing else, just to have one of their leaders back and one of their main productive guys back. So ultimately, I'm hoping that the 49ers win at the end of the day. I'm just hoping that they win, because we need that, and that's going to further bury down the Bucks behind us. We take care of business and go 7-3, create some distance, stack, great distance, stack win. That's all I want to do.
That's what it's about. Terry, looking around the NFL schedule this week, you do have a big matchup with a team that bit to play coming up. The Commanders, they're at home against the Steelers, 6-2 Steelers versus the 7-2. Terry, 7-2 Washington Commanders. We played them in about a month, Terry. Guess your thoughts on Bucks 49ers and the Steelers Commanders.
I think this week is a must win for the Falcons, and I want to show you why. Jack, if you could pull up the 49ers schedule, pull up the Bucks schedule.
Yeah.
I just want to show everyone something, right? So we have the New Orleans Saints this week who suck to the height of sucktivity, and we should go in there and beat them, and you have to beat the teams that you should beat. Now, if you look at the Bucks schedule, let's say they do lose and we win, we are essentially then 4 games ahead of them, right? Can you see the whole schedule, like the whole schedule?
Oh yeah. Yeah, pull this up right here. Well, I mean, they have so
after the 49ers,
I'll pull up on ESPN. Yeah.
Let's scroll down. They got a cupcake schedule after the 49ers. They play the Giants, the Raiders. Go on.
Hold on. Got them. There we go. There we go. Got the 49ers right here. After the bye week, they go against the Giants.
They lose. They got the Giants, win. They got the Panthers, keep going, win. They got the Raiders, win. Keep going. They got the Chargers. That might be a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
But okay, let's keep going.
They got their back-to-back losses right here. Back-to-back losses.
The Cowboys are not going to beat the Bucks. Let's keep going. They're not.
They probably won't.
That team is so together.
They got the Panthers.
They got the Panthers again, right? And then who they close with? They close with the Saints. So their schedule the rest of the year, once they get past
the 49ers.
The 49ers, to quote my beloved co-host and partner, Mr. Bodie 3000, their schedule is ass cheeks McGee going forward.
Sheesh.
So we need to win this game, and they very much need to lose this game. Not that I'm worried, but again, it ain't like they're playing difficult teams after this. We got to keep moving full speed ahead. The teams that we beat, we should win. This Saints team sucks so bad. They're awful. They're terrible. They're fired their coach. They're in disarray. They got folks trying to get traded. We should go in there and beat them and dominate them, and let's establish a 4-game lead.
Well, let's definitely do that, but let's also go look at the Saints injury report. Cedric Wilson has a shoulder injury, did not practice. Kool-Aid McKinstry has a hamstring, did not practice. Chris Olave with a concussion, he'll definitely be out, did
He
not
probably
practice.
not. Yeah, he's probably gonna be out.
Lucas Patrick, guard with an ankle, did not practice. He's probably going to be out. JT Gray with a back situation. He left practice today, or limited practice. Rico Payton, back injury too as well. So they're banged up. Jamal Williams even has a groin injury. John Ridgway, Will Harris, the safety. Derek Carr. I told you that crawfish ain't the same without Drew Brees there. Alvin Kamara even had a hand injury. Shane Lemieux, let's see here. Knee injury. Sewell, A1, this team is banged up, bro.
Yeah, they are. That's why you gotta take advantage.
You don't have a head coach. I mean, they just hired this. I mean, they got the interim Darren Rizzi or David Rizzi, whoever the guy's name is. And of course, Marshawn Lattimore getting traded this week too as well.
Their best
So,
corner.
Troy Anderson's back for the Atlanta Falcons this week.
Yeah, use that speed.
Man, it's a good feeling that we can, definitely outrun the South. Falcons did not make a trade to the trade deadline that happened earlier this week. So, Falcon fans that was expecting a trade, I'm sure the team believes in what they have in that locker room, right? Who knows when Lorenzo Carter is going to be back too as well.
Do
Is it
y'all
possible?
really expect to see Renzo back for real though?
I mean, Rashard Evans is in the building now, so
I'm like, y'all really expect this? I don't really expect to see him like that. Real quick though, I wanted to add to what T Will was saying too about the schedules and everything. It's not just the Saints game that we need. We need to win next week too, because if you can go into your bye week 8-3, you're setting yourself up very, very nice, going down the stretch regardless. So, yeah, they got a cakewalk schedule. I wouldn't say that our schedule is just like the toughest in the world, but we do have the Vikings that we have to see. We do have
the Commanders.
We do have the Commanders. Chargers still out there. Vikings. Yeah, well, I already said that, but yeah, still, we have some teams we have to play, and then even the Broncos still have a top 10 defense. So we got to take care of business so we continue to stack wins and create distance. For real.
You talk about stacking wins and creating distance. A1 quickly, man.
Let's go.
Right now, going into this week against the Saints, sitting at 6-3. I mean, we'd love for you to answer this question, A1, but do you think the Falcons are going to the playoffs?
Yeah, they're going. I mean, I said 12-5 to start with the season, and I'm not going to waver on it now, especially not now. I know, we got 3 losses already, but I'm sticking at 12-5. Don't know where those other 2, if they come, but at the end of the day, 12-5, we're going to the playoffs. Book it. Get ready, Falcon fans. In a minute, you're going to get those emails saying, "Hey, got those playoff tickets ready for you if you like." So get ready for it.
First dib to the season ticket holders, and then of course, whatever doesn't get snatched up by the season ticket holders. I'm sure with a home game, if you win the division, that season ticket holder is going to go crazy buying those tickets. And man, I'm just too excited about this team right now. I just know that when I get ready to finish packing and head down to New Orleans tomorrow, man, I get to walk the streets of New Orleans, French Quarter, man, and just feel that first place feeling, man. I had it a couple years ago when I went down there. I mean, the trash talk, there's nothing that the aints can say. They might drop some old, 28-3 jokes, all that little nonsense, but they can't say nothing about their team. It doesn't hold weight right now. Your team is ass, right?
You weren't even in the Super Bowl. The only people I felt that from was Patriots fans. I actually know some Patriots fans. So when they hit me with it, I'm like, all right, bro, well, whatever. But anybody else, they were watching us. It holds no weight.
Hey, Jack.
Falcon fans, what's up, brother?
That I dropped in the chat right quick.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, just click on it. I'm actually bring it up. Because
you won't even let me do that with that type of link.
Oh, okay. Well, just copy it and then drop it.
If you want to send it to me, put it in the private chat. It should work if you send it to the private chat.
Let me send it to the private chat.
Yeah, and I can click it right there.
There you go.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button.
I got a question for y'all though, man.
Yeah, man.
How many good meals have y'all had after watching Falcons football this year?
Bro, every
Uh,
meal.
I've had at least 6 good meals, sir. At least
Mm.
6. What are we 6-3? At least 6 very good meals. I've had some that were okay, but I've had 6 good meals. So Jack, scroll down for me. This is the
Mhm.
rankings for second half defenses. The Falcons are number 8.
Mhm.
Hmm?
Those of y'all who are like, oh, whatever, we are number 8. We are better than Cleveland. No, I'm sorry. We're better
Yeah.
than Jet.
Philadelphia,
We're better than Philadelphia.
Detroit,
We're better than Detroit. We're better
Minnesota,
Minnesota.
than Minnesota
Tampa Bay.
half, right?
Let me
This
see if
is
they have. Oh,
another
even
reason
Baltimore
why.
too as well. Baltimore's a pretty good team.
Mhm.
Oh, Baltimore's defense is ass. But
Mhm.
in all seriousness, guys, this is why they were confident in not having to trade for someone, because what they said is, look, they're only 7 teams better than us in the second half as far as defense. So pretty much this is what you can book. If you don't beat us in the first half, you're not going to beat us. If we don't beat ourselves and you don't beat us in the first half, you're not going to beat us. This is why, another reason why, maybe one of the reasons why they chose not to go and make a trade. So just wanted to illustrate that, Jack. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, man, this is what it's about when we talk Falcons football, because fans want to see that type of stuff, right? They want to see the stats. They want to make the thing. They want to see the things that know that the team is improving in different areas, right? Like we talk Falcons football on different levels about Kirk Cousins and Bijan Robinson, but when you get down to the stats, when you get down to the what is going on, the nitty gritty behind the scenes here, of when the Falcons are on the field, this is great to see. Second half points per game, the Falcons right here. I mean, being one of those top teams, you
And they're
sometimes.
better on the road.
Bro, a lot of teams win games in the second half, and you need this right here. Like the first quarter, second quarter, you're up 14. Third quarter, you lose by 3. Sorry, third and fourth quarter, next thing you know, you lose by 3. So for the Falcons to be eighth in this spot right now, even above teams that are going to the playoffs, teams that like Detroit, Minnesota, right? Let's go down. Washington is also here too as well. Houston is on the list too as well. Baltimore is on this list. So that's great to see that Raheem has really change the culture of this team on offense, on defense, in the locker room. You see it. When you see it at the game, the fans, the excitement. You saw it against the Cowboys. Like there were Cowboys fans there, but they wasn't loud and rowdy like the Falcon fans. And when you were there, we saw it.
They couldn't be, man, because there was no point at the time in that game to where the Cowboys fans felt like they controlled anything.
Yeah,
They trailed.
yeah.
They had that 3-0 lead, and then after that, it was a wrap.
And this is my shout out to the Bens, because every fan base that's going to come here to Atlanta has to realize you're part of Atlanta's culture when that swag surf comes on. If you haven't heard it before, chances are you're going to hear it in the Mercedes Benz when the Falcons play. But let me tell you something. I looked up in those stands, A1, Terry. I saw Cowboys fans knowing that they were getting ready to lose that game.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that the way the Falcons are playing, that this was going to be a tough one. Knowing that the way the Falcons were playing, like, yeah, after they swag surf, they finna go back out there and finish this ass whooping. But to see Cowboys fans just get along with the vibe and just say, you know what? F it. We drove 12 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to realize that this is Atlanta culture, man. And just to look up in the stands and see everybody for 100 level, 200 level, 300 level, just swag surfing. The energy has picked up. Atlanta has, they have something here, right? And I know fans look at that Atlanta United season and they look at what the soccer fans do here in Atlanta. And fans were asking for that Atlanta United vibe, fans in their seats before kickoff, right? Fans showing up, early to the gates to get inside and packing up the stadium. A1, did you feel the vibe when you walked into the stadium Sunday? It was packed from the moment they opened the door.
Yeah, it was. The energy was there, man. It was palpable. You could definitely feel it, touch it, damn near taste it. Like for real, man. Like I'm happy about what the fans have been coming in there doing. Defending the stadium, man. Coming in, we can't let other teams come in and bully us around in our own stadium. Those days got to be over.
yes.
I'm glad you said those days, because
Mhm.
for Falcon fans, right now, what we have going forward, I think we've created an environment where a lot of these young players coming up too as well. I mean, they're gonna go tell their families and go tell other players like, "Yo, when you guys go to Atlanta, that was my first time playing in there. That stadium rough, man. And people get up and they got the nest and they got people jumping around and DJs in there, and you can see the vibe of what we have in Atlanta because we play the hip hop, like we play the trap music. Like, I mean, they were playing "Walking Your Trap, Take Over Your Trap" in the locker room, bro. Like coming out of the locker room type shit. Like this team is really buying into not only Kurt. Right? The fans are not only buying into not only Raheem, it's Terry, it's Arthur Blank, it's everything that they put out this season with the Ring of Honor with Matt Ryan, right? The Ring of Honor with Arthur Blank, the souvenir, everything that they do has just been on an award-winning level. And big shout out to the Mercedes-Benz because that fifth quarter party is lit too as well. And let me tell you something. After the Cowboys game, like Cowboys fans had no other choice but to what? They won party with Falcon fans.
Yeah.
The game is over in the stadium and the clubs and everything is lit. Atlanta's just that vibe. That's why we deserve that Super Bowl.
They realize they're going to have to take their head whooping from the fans, saying, "Yeah, how about them Cowboys, huh?"
Hey man,
that's at a party. It's lit, man. I've been there. I've seen the band in action. The place you after a Falcons victory, you want to be wherever Jack is because I witnessed.
Jack just made an excellent point too. And he just got me thinking about something, man. Just how you just illustrated that. Jack just talking about the vibes, the music, the players buying in, the fans buying in. It's almost like same situation, different time and players. Almost like them 1991 Bad Boy Falcons.
Yeah. You're right. You're right about that, Chris. You're right. That was, and MC Hammer was on the sideline, like that was a vibe. That I'm not gonna lie. That team was wild.
And we had artists that be in the building all the time. We had the TIs with the Bring 'Em Out. You know, we had the Ludacris. You know, we have people coming out as well. You already know Pastor Troy is there every home game.
I mean, I'm glad you just said that because the homie Troy, man, big shout out to Pastor Troy, man.
Segue. I got a
Pastor Troy, man, posted something earlier today, man, and I just gotta give a shout out to Pastor Troy, man. Pastor Troy, man, he tagged us Rise Up Tour fan club after we get this W. I'm talking about down there in New Orleans, man. Meet me here. Joint was stupid after the game. Falcons and Saints party. They have a group performer from NO, so I need my Atlanta Falcons in the building after the game. We at Razoo Saturday. Yeah, we at Razoo Saturday. It's going down. But right after the game, man, Troy's gonna be performing, man, over there at 601. Them New Orleans French Crease is fucking ridiculous. New Orleans, Louisiana, down there in the French Quarter. We y'all see it right here on the screen, man. Sunday, November 10th, right after the game, man. Your boy Pastor Troy, man, is gonna be performing. So if you're down there in Louisiana, man, it's going down this weekend. Now let's get straight to it.
That street name look like it's got some kin to Tua Tagovailoa.
God, sheesh. That's a wow. Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to it, A1, before we go ahead and wrap it up here. The parade on Bourbon Street, right? So a lot of fans are asking about this parade on Bourbon Street. Yes, we do have a permit with the Rise Up Tour fan club for the parade on Bourbon Street. So for everybody that's wondering how y'all going to do this, how y'all pulling this off, there's no way possible. Yes, it's possible when you have a permit with the French Quarter. So New Orleans Police Department will be helping us out too as well. So if you guys want to donate for our security relief, man, help us out right here on the screen. Bam, you can see right there. I guess you can use your QR code on your phone, scan right here. You can donate, but definitely want to pull up to the parade this Saturday on Bourbon Street. Signs are allowed. Just want to go over a couple things here. Signs are allowed because fans do have questions, but definitely please be respectful. There is no hurricane-related signs will be tolerated. I gotta keep it real because people come out there and just be super disrespectful. So
I can't be in the parade there. I'm gonna come down there with the sign all made up just for the man.
Well, signs are allowed, But we want to make sure there's no hurricane-related signs, right? We're not going to do
Oh
that type of
no,
stuff,
no,
right?
no, no, that
No
stuff.
racial signs, no political signs, none of that stuff. We're not doing that stuff in the parade. I don't care what they got going on outside of football, what they got in their personal life. If y'all going to do that, if you're going to make it a joke, that's perfectly fine, but do not disrespect what they got going on and everything, especially what's going on in this world right now. Please wear your Falcons gear or your Rise Up Tour fan club t-shirt and or a badge. It'd be great to you all coming on out wearing the Rise Up Tour fan club shirts or your badges. And of course, you guys can use your Falcon flags. You guys can use your Rise Up Tour fan club flags. No vehicles allowed in the parade too as well. There's a lot of fans hitting us up like, hey, can I bring my car out? Can I drive behind you guys? And we'll crank it up at the end of the parade down there at the bottom of Bourbon Street. And no vehicles allowed during this parade. And of course, if you want to be there around 1:30, 1:45, as we start the march around 2 o'clock, you have to be inside of the ropes. So that way we can continue this parade smoothly and safely. But New Orleans Police Department they don't want people jumping in once the parade has started. So they want everybody to be in formation in line over there by Canal and Bourbon. So it's going down in a major way, man. It is going down in a major way. Any other Falcon fan groups that's considered joining us, let us know, man. Right here, one time for the fan, Jack's Bay. You can hit up the Rise Up Tour fan club. Information is right there on the screen too, as well. And of course, there would be no disrespectful behavior whatsoever. It's Falcon fans having a good time. We're first in the division. Saints are last. We're gonna go down there and turn up down there on Bourbon Street. So, A1. Before I go ahead and get to the party information, man, what you think, man? Falcon fans, Rise Up Tour fan club, throwing a parade for Falcon fans in New Orleans, man. I think this is a good time for fans to just come out, have a good time. You're already walking the streets of the French Quarter anyway, right? On Canal Street and Bourbon Street. Right now, you can definitely donate to for a good cause because right here, we have New Orleans Police Department helping us out. Right, and they're not going to allow no nonsense. We've already spoke to them. They're not going to allow nobody to come over there and disrespect us. Right, we're having a good time.
No,
Right,
it's stuff, man. It's like it's just growth, man. You just love growth, and that's just what the Rise Up Tour has been doing, man. I see what everybody been doing behind the scenes, and just putting this stuff together, man. Y'all guys are really just putting together a very good fan experience. Really, not very good. It's just really kind of downplaying it, man. Y'all are putting together an excellent fan experience for people. So salute to everybody who's behind the scenes doing things and putting things together. You yourself, Thomas. I know Big Low got some dealings with it too, man. Just everybody, salute to you guys because it's a fun time, man. I've been to a couple parties already, so I plan on can't wait for the Vegas trip, man. I'm definitely gonna be out there. See what that's gonna be like, man. See what that's gonna be like, man. We're gonna have
Vegas is going to be live. Vegas is going to be lit. I can't wait to get out there. Terry, I know you can't make it.
I'm so jealous that you guys are going to Vegas. I just gotta admit it because if I don't, it'll corrupt me. I am so freaking jealous that you guys are going to Vegas, and damn it, you know what? I'm gonna get it together, man. I'm gonna get my health together, and if we ever play Vegas again, I'm going. That's the trip I'm going. I'm so green with envy. But
that don't look good on you, man.
I know it, man.
Not the Hulk.
I know it, but I just got to be honest, man. Every time I think about all y'all gonna be there, like I know Lisa Shepard is going. I know y'all are going. I know every content creator that I know is going, and then it's just gonna be me, and I'm jealous. I'm hating right now. I'm hating. I'm a hater.
Well, if you feel any better, I don't think Smitty going. Y'all.
Well, I feel a little better, man. But I'm just, guys. I really, that is one trip. I might have to engage in the what's that drug that makes you sleepy or whatever. I might have to engage in that and get on that flight to Vegas the next time y'all go, man. I might have to do it for that because I've seen like Jack party. I've seen y'all have fun. And just the thought of y'all being in Vegas, man. Oh my goodness. But then you know what? I probably would indulge too much and not make it. So, let me get me together. But look, I want you guys to have a great time when you go to New Orleans. Falcon fans, please be on your best behavior. There's a lot going on right now.
Best behavior in Nawlins?
Yeah. In the parade.
How?
In
the parade, of course.
In the parade, be on your best behavior. And hey, man, let's go into New Orleans. Let's kick the shit out of them. And Jack, man, I hope you have an amazing time, man. I hope you guys have a great time down there. And Chris, A1, my brother from another. Jack is basically my brother from another. I hope y'all enjoy the shit out of yourselves when you go to Vegas. I hope that your party is so great that there will be stories that will not be told, because everything that happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But there will be rumor and innuendo and stories of the time that y'all had in Vegas. That's what I wish for you guys.
Every city we go to, the Rise Up Tour fan club turns up. Dwayne Ruffles in the chat. Rise Up Tour fan club, tap in. Man, we back on the West Coast next year, and what we already have planned right now is going to be bananas. Right? I can't even tell you about 2025 with the vision that we have, but every single member of the Rise Up Tour fan club, from the directors to the board to everybody, man, y'all just do a great job of putting on these events. And every time we talk about what we're going to do for the fans and going on the road, man, it's always something great. So big shout out to everybody from the Rise Up Tour fan club, man. But yeah, the parade on Bourbon Street's going down Saturday, 2 p.m. You definitely want to be in formation between 1:45 or so, and you'll see everything going on over there by Bourbon Street and Canal. If you're unaware of the situation, like, where do I go, where do I meet, I think you'll see everything being set up. But big shout out to everybody that's gonna be down there in New Orleans. Tell all your Falcons friends, tell your Falcons family they are invited to the parade. But definitely scan that QR code so you can go ahead and throw a little small donation in there too as well, because everybody's been pitching in for the security details. So big shout out, first of all, big shout out to New Orleans Police Department, right? Like this is real deal. This is from One Time for the Fan to New Orleans Police Department down there in the French Quarter. They're allowing Falcon fans to come do this, right? And this is not from the organization. Like, people keep having us like, how y'all let the organization? This is not from the organization. This is the Rise Up Tour fan club, right? You guys know what we do as a group of Falcon fans that travel to away games and do this, right? So for fans that have been asking, oh, is this the organization? No, it is not. This is us, the Rise Up Tour fan club. We are deep in numbers when it comes to Falcon fans that's in our group, but we always provide different experiences for fans that love to travel on the road. And of course, when we started it back in 2017 with me and Thomas, we didn't expect we would be where we are right now. And the amount of people that's trying to join the group right now too, we're getting ready to open the doors back up because the renewals for the 2025 season is getting ready to open up soon. But for Falcon fans that want to join and find out what's going on, it's the Rise Up Tour fan club. But we talked about the parade. Everybody's gonna be down there lit for that. We want to get up out of here soon because good day to everybody. Early good morning to everybody because it's 12:12 now. And I like these late night podcasts. People's up late. It's like the last thing you hear before you go to bed. Falcons football, right? So that's pretty cool. And for me, I wake up, boom, I'm in the car, I'm heading out of New Orleans, man. So this is what it's about. New Orleans takeover, man, is going down Saturday night. Fans kept asking me, where's the takeover? Where's the takeover? Where's the takeover? It's going down at Razoo's, man. And please don't go around telling people it's your party. It is not your party, man. That's one thing people came up to me and told me last year, bro. Like, where Lil Johnny, bro? Lil Johnny said it's his party. Lil Johnny, that's not your party, bro. Rise Up Tour fan club, man. Razoo's is the spot. You got to get there early because it's going to be bonanzas. I don't know if you heard, but in the past, we reached maximum capacity like pretty early. Party starts at 8. Probably want to get in there like 6:30 to get a good spot, man. Because hell, let me tell you something. I had trouble getting in there last year. A1. They gave me a hard time at the door.
On your own, in your own stuff.
At our own event, they gonna tell me we're full. Well, you better get somebody up out of there,
right? Because
I see Saints fans sitting over there in the corner. Get one of them out. Get one of them out. Carlo Wiggins in the chat. What do you say? Last year was what? Last year was deep.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to all the player family that hit me up. Like, can you get me in? Can you get me in? Like, hold on, I got you. I'm on the stage like, hold on. Go to this door. Go to this door. I got you. But big shout out to everybody that's in the chat talking Falcons football. New Orleans takeover, man. A1, Terry, before we get up out of here, the train ride to New Orleans is full.
Wonderful.
First car is full. Second car we're past Detroit, full.
Go
Heading down
down there
to
deep and
we heading down to Nawlins deep.
Mhm.
Second annual train ride down to New Orleans, man. Fans love it. It's a party train. They can bring their alcohol. We got music. Everybody's gonna be jamming. Everybody's gonna be having a good time. It's private, just
Right.
for the fan club. Everybody who's on that train. And then, 2 cars deep. That's over like 120, 130 fans, I think it is.
That's what I'm saying. I love it.
That's just on the 2 trains, and then I'm already leaving there tomorrow. You got other fans flying in and driving in, and big shout out to all the fans that's going to be there, early Sunday morning. But you also have the parade on Saturday, right? Where you turning up. The team is definitely going to be there in New Orleans around that time. I think they get in like Friday or early Saturday morning. But for us here, Falcon fans, man, we're going to be feeling good about just what we have in the building at Flowery Branch. We're going to go down there and whoop the Saints. And then after the parade, we'll get some food, we'll get some drinks, and then you have the party Saturday night. And, of course, New Orleans don't sleep. So the party's going to be going to like, what? Party starts at 8. Let's say around like 1, 2 in the morning maybe, right? New Orleans don't sleep, A1. Terry, New Orleans don't sleep.
No, sir.
Not in the French Quarter. Karina Atkins in the chat. Last year we had a ball on the train. And guess what? Y'all going to have a ball again. Karina Atkins said, looking forward to Colorado as well for the Rise Up Tour fan club members. Of course, you guys know we have a private trip to Breckenridge next week. So check out the One Time for the Fan IG page. Hell, I might even do a podcast from Breckenridge. But we have some members from the group that's going to be heading up to Breckenridge, man. We're going to have a great time up there in the snow. It is snowing right now in Breckenridge. So big shout out to all the members of the Rise Up Tour fan club.
Oh man, that's gonna be so much fun.
Man, we're gonna do we got the ATV, the snowmobiles, we got some tours set up.
One in one of y'all bags, man.
Man, A1, you still got time, bro. It's a week left, and the flights are not that bad, man. But if you want to roll, man, come on, bro. The Rise Up Tour fan club. You know you're a member. You get the emails. So, and I'm telling you right now, A1, I'm gonna tell you right now, straight up, you don't want to miss Arizona next year. I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
You see my face? You don't want to miss Arizona next year.
So I
gotta come with us to AZ.
I gotta
Glendale is just that whole Westgate Entertainment District is just another vibe, bro. It's just a whole, and then our West Coast Falcon fans. Oh my gosh, bro. Them West Coast Falcon fan deep, bro. I know they might not travel too many games in the Benz, but when we play on the West Coast, you look around like, bro, where the hell they from? Oregon, Seattle, like Sacramento, Nevada, New Mexico. Like, where the fuck they from?
Yeah, I love that.
Man.
Y'all over the world, baby.
Bro, the Arizona party last year was like, are we at capacity already? Like, what the hell's going on here? Man, Thomas like, man, bro, I don't think we can let nobody in. Like, bro, look at all the people standing outside. Like, bro, they just want to get chill out. There's too many people in here. Like, goddamn. Way too many people in here, man. Do not miss Arizona. Last year, she said, whoo, memories. I'm telling you, man. You hear from Karina, there is 1,000 fans that's just like Karina. That's within the group. 1,000 fans like Karina that goes to these games. They love what we do on the road. We put on, these events so fans can have a good time. That's why me and Thomas, when we talked about it years ago, 6-7 years later, it's the same thing. The same thing we talked about today. I can show you the text message. It was about the fans. It was about having a good time. It was about how to make sure fans come to New Orleans and we're good. We got Denver in a week, so we got to start rolling out those events too as well, which we already have planned and everything. But it's just anywhere we go. We understand the game is 3 hours, but if we can provide an experience for fans to put a smile on their face, then that's good. And there's some fans that travel to Philly and they didn't go to Tampa. There's some fans that went to Carolina, they're not going to Denver. There's some fans that's going to Vegas, that's not going to New Orleans. So it's always a different
guilty.
I'm sorry, A1. I didn't mean to say it like it was you, but you we need you out there, A1. We need you there.
Yeah. I'm working on it. I'm working on being every road gamers like y'all, man. I'm working on it.
Man, next season, man, I'm talking about. We can get an early start on this, man. Dwayne Ruffin, Arizona was so damn fun. Dwayne Ruffin, bro. Everybody, we had the host hotel. It was about 70 rooms from the Rise Up Tour fan club. 70 rooms, not 7, not 17, about 70 rooms booked. And of course, the discount was like $449 for the room. We got it for like $215, $220, I think it was. I can't remember, like $220, $225, around that range, but it was definitely cheap as fuck.
Either way it goes, it's a deal.
It's definitely a deal when you fuck with the Rise Up Tour fan club. But look at Dwayne Ruffin now. He flies in from Cali. We're at the hotel. We're chilling. He goes in the room, comes back out. He's wearing a Laker jersey. What? What are you doing? Oh, I'm about to go to the Lakers Sun game. Wait. What? The Lakers and the Suns? He's like, yeah, they're playing tonight. Bro, this man flew into Arizona to go hang with Falcon fans, right? Because of the game. But he also had a chance to go catch the Lakers and the Suns because they're playing that weekend.
Fam had a side mission.
Man, he hit a side mission right there in AZ. And then after the game, he comes back to where we are partying because the game got over in time to what? Head over to where we are to do what? Party. To have a good time. 2, 3 in the morning. People walking back to the hotel. I don't care what anyone says. Y'all got to get the fried chicken out of Brothers Food Mart. 2 a.m. It was a line to the back of the store. Bussing. Hey man, let me tell you something.
Hell, fam. This thing bussing.
Bro, let me tell you something, man.
2 a.m.
Bro, we do not play when it comes to having fun. And that's what we want to provide for Falcon fans. So right here on the screen, go ahead and pop it up here for you all. The RiseUpTourFanClub.com. Head on over, check out what we got going on. 2025 memberships will open up in a couple weeks. So we want to make sure everybody can jump on board. But right now, you guys can go probably look online and see that some of the games are starting to be scheduled for next year. Not scheduled like the dates, but who we could be playing. And of course, NFC West teams, AFC East teams. So right now, it's starting to shape up that, we get a chance to see who the Falcons will be shaping up against next year. But yeah, the RiseUpTourFanClub.com. Of course, you want to head over to the IG page, One Time for the Fan. We're going to start posting from there probably in a matter of hours, man, because I want fans to know how the vibe is when we head down to the New Orleans in the French Quarter. Yeah, he's talking about it's in the French Quarter. Yeah, I know about it.
Now, you probably telling me that. Probably just letting me know, like, when you come down, but you got to hit that French Quarter.
You got to. You have to. Yeah. Nobody goes downtown New Orleans. Like, nobody goes, like nobody wants to be down there. Everybody heads to the French Quarter, right? And from the French Quarter, you're going to get everything you need on there. Casino, drinks, food, good entertainment. I'm talking about the clubs, the atmosphere, the vibes. The strip is long, so you got to walk all the way down Bourbon and come all the way back and go all the way down Canal, by the riverfront, all the way by the Arts District, Warehouse District. So you're going to get a good amount of steps in being in New Orleans. So for fans that's heading out there this weekend, let's have a good time. We're in first place. When was the last time you was in first place heading out to New Orleans? It's been years.
Years, man.
Man, let's go down there and give them hell, man. Like, for real, man. The food is gonna. I'm looking at the restaurants like I'm getting that crab cake. I'm getting that po' boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready. I love going down there to New Orleans. I hate the team, but the city and the vibe is smooth. I fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Dwayne Ruffin in the chat too as well. Man, let's get to these shout outs so we can go ahead and get up out of here because I know we're going on almost 2 hours here talking Falcons football. And A1, I don't want to keep you up late. I know you're getting ready to go probably win an Emmy soon. So
hey, God willing. God willing.
Hey man, always doing big things, man. Hey, A1, man, for real. Can we find out where can we find you on social media? Your Twitter or X, whatever they call it now, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Tell everybody about A1, man.
Well, YouTube, that's the platform. Well, A1 Forever Sports on YouTube is the platform. Come on through, have a conversation, like, comment, and subscribe. The channel is steady growing, and I'm very proud of that. Put a lot of work into it. So thank you for all the supporters that come through and decide to, choose A1 Forever Sports. Also on Twitter and Instagram, it's going to be A1 Forever. TikTok, the real A1 Forever, man. Come on through. Like I said, have a conversation, talk sports with anybody. Hey, love to do it. Thank you, fellas, for having me on. You know what I'm saying? Like to always have Falcon football talk with you guys and other Falcon content creators too. And last but not least, well, actually, first before that, and also definitely honor to God for everything that He does for real. I'm honestly, man, I can't do it without him. Nothing really. And lastly, shout out to the chat, the Rise Up Tour members, the Falcon fans, everybody, man, everybody who's watching from all three platforms for my ATL Sports. You know, one time for the fan, A1 Forever Sports, man. Just salute to everybody. Let's go get this dub on the Aints, man. Stomp them, bring the brooms out, broomsticking, man. You know, just sweeping folks. You know, let's do it. Our
Hey,
time. Why not us?
brooms are allowed in the parade. So if you want to bring your broom and help sweep the streets of New Orleans, they are allowed in the parade. But definitely don't let Bodie see, because that's still his job. So Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that
Oh,
share,
yeah.
hit that subscribe button. Lisa Shepard said, "New Orleans is fun. It's smelly, but fun." And there's stories about the smell. So it's
It is smelly.
you ask a lot of locals about the smell, and they'll give you different stories. But it definitely has a smell to it, and of course, with all the alcohol, and you will see there's a lot of alcohol going on in the French Quarter. People just it's an open world out there in New Orleans. Man, it's like a video game, honestly. As soon as you step out your hotel, it's like, oh shit, which way do I go? But Falcon fans, it's gonna have a great time down there in New Orleans. A1 Forever, man, who joined us tonight here talking Falcons football. We do thank you, A1, for joining us for about almost 2 hours to talk Falcons football, man.
Always.
At the last minute too, as well. I think we hit you up like around 5 or 6 or so.
Yeah, man. I ain't even really get a chance to get back to you until like 8, right before I was about to go on. So it's just like, but yeah, man. Like I said, never have a problem, man. It was fun. Always happy to do it.
This is great, man, because you got a lot going on with your podcast, and of course, big shout out to you for also helping Terry too as well, because Terry's podcast right now, Terry's like the damn king of podcasts right now. Every time I look up, Terry's live, Terry's live, Terry's live. I'm getting ready to send Terry a new contract. Like, Terry, what the hell is going on here? 2025, this was about to happen. Nah, but Terry is he loves to talk sports. Like Eric, his brother Eric Parker told me about that for a long time. Eric kept telling me, "You gotta talk to my brother. You gotta talk to my brother. You can talk sports all day. You gotta talk to my brother." And I was like, "All right, bet." So I talked to him, and sure enough, man, look at this. Months later, Terry is still here talking Falcons football. He got his own channel. He's talking Braves. He's talking Hawks. I mean, I'm ready for you to start talking United. Because once you start talking soccer, oh shit, I need to change up one time for the fans. Terry's talking soccer over there, y'all.
Nipping at your heels, bro. Nipping at your heels.
Oh my God. Terry, tell us about what you got going on, man. Your shout outs for the night, man. And let's go ahead and get up out of here, man.
Very quickly, I want to give a shout out to every Falcon fan in the universe, and specifically the Falcon fans everywhere in the United States, the Falcon fans in this chat. At the beginning of this season, we heard so much. Oh, what are they doing? Oh, they drafted Michael Penix. Oh, they paid Kirk Cousins. Oh, it's $100 million. And you know what y'all did? Y'all killed the narrative. Y'all killed the narrative. Y'all said we're not gonna believe that mess. Y'all showed up at every Falcons game and showed out. You showed up at away games. You definitely showed up in the home stadium. You didn't let these other fans outnumber us. You didn't let these other fans out cheer us. And whether you know it or not, it makes a difference. Whether you know it or not, when you're on that field and you can feel that energy, it makes a difference. So you know what? At the halfway point, I got to give you guys props, big up, whatever you want to call it. I got to give you props because you didn't believe it. You didn't fall for it. And hey, man, why not us? Why not us?
No.
Why not us? Let's go. I've been waiting 48 years. Let's go, man. Let's go. That's all I'm saying. Y'all got me hyped tonight just because of what Jack was talking about in Vegas and what A1 was talking about. Look, man, at the end of the day, I just want a damn Super Bowl. I want the Falcons to win it. And I'm not saying we're going to do it, but we got a shot. But y'all, way to not believe the narrative. Way to not believe the garbage that they're putting out there. It's spin because they got to sell airtime. At the end of the day, you know who your Falcons are. You know what we're here to do. And I got to give you a shout out for that. Now, with that being said, hey, I want to thank God. Like Chris said, wouldn't be here without him. Thank him every day. Much appreciated. You can find me at here, one time for the fan, typically on Wednesdays at 9. We started a little late tonight. Friday mornings at 9 a.m. ish. And you can also find me at 4 My ATL Sports, the number 4 My ATL Sports 1. Say again, 4 My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. We typically air programs Friday at 7 p.m., Sunday usually after the game, and then Monday we have a Monday morning show with the morning crew. Guys, love y'all. Love everybody on the panel. Love all my Falcons fans. Let's go to New Orleans. Let's kick some ass. Last but certainly not least, I always got to give props to Mr. Jack Spade, Mr. Eric Parker. Would not be here with them, without them. Would not be here. Every chance I get to come on the air, Jack, I hope you know I give you props, brother, because I thank you. I appreciate you every day for what you did. I appreciate my brother, Eric Parker. And if y'all get sick of hearing it, well, too goddamn bad, because I'm going to keep. And with that being said, amen. It's on you, Jack. Go right ahead.
Hey, Terry is cooking. Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast. If you're listening, you want to watch us, head on over to YouTube. If you're on Facebook, checking in, head on over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. Let's run the subscribers up. I'm trying to catch A1 over here. I want to be cool like A1. I'm trying to catch Country over here. I want to be cool like Country. So Falcon fans,
you're really cool, man.
this is great. Cool. I want to be cooler. Falcon fans, this is great. To join us for almost 2 hours, talk Falcons, because your team is in first place.
Yeah.
Right. You're excited about what this team can do. Most of y'all are heading down to New Orleans, just excited every single minute that passes by before you get on that plane or you get in that car and drive down. Man, my Falcon flags will be flying all the way down to the bayou. And then when they get ripped up because of that 6-hour drive, guess what? Bam, put 2 new Falcon flags back up on the car. But you got to take it off before you get to Canal Street because it will fuck your shit up. Oh, he's from Atlanta? Tear up that deal. So just be very careful down there when they see them Georgia plates. You come down there talking that trash. All right, bet. As soon as you park. That's how they watching your ass, too. Look. He going into Felix's spit. Yeah. What about them Falcons? You don't want that stuff to happen. But Falcon fans, just be careful of a couple things. And don't forget, if you're parking in the French Quarter, and they give you a time, if it says 12:27, you have to be back at your car. Do not show up at 12:28. Do not show up at 12:26 with 54 seconds on that second clock, because buddy's right there. He's right there. You might not see him on that passenger side, but we're going around that driver's side. What you doing? Take that boot off that car. Nah, bro. You 30 seconds late. They right there at your car. I saw it. I saw a dude, man, he had to pay $200. Just imagine you drinking, you come out of the spot, you trying to head back to your car, and you got to spend $200 because somebody done put a boot on your shit because you 45 seconds late. Damn. 45 seconds late. He right there, but they sitting right there in that car. 12:26, 12:27. They right there.
Talk about clock watching,
bro. What? They know how to make their money. They're watching the meters. So definitely something to watch for Falcon fans. But shout out to A1, shout out to Terry, shout out to Carrie, shout out to Bodie, shout out to everybody, man, that's just been doing great things for their friends and family. Falcons, continue to do what you guys are doing. The city loves it. Everybody's riding behind you all. Let's go down to New Orleans and let's get us a win. Once again, the parade information is out. The party information for Saturday is out. To meet up with us at halftime. We're going to post the halftime section the morning of the game. And we apologize for Tampa Bay section. When we posted Tampa Bay's section by the ship, it was way too crowded. So we had to quickly divert and go to the other side over there by section 120. But we're probably going to meet at the same spot we did in New Orleans last year. And you guys saw what happens. It's right over there on the Falcons side. But those Saints fans kind of turn that corner and they have nowhere to go. You just block the hallway with just 500-600 Falcon fans. So halftime photos going down in a major way. We'll post that Sunday morning. Terry, guess what, man? Bringing the podcast set up with me down. So tomorrow night when I get to New Orleans, before I hit the streets, I'm going to go live just to let y'all know how the vibe is, right? We'll go live. So I'm also an hour behind, Terry. So we'll get to that. And then Friday morning, breakfast with One Time for the Fan. Let's go ahead and knock that out too as well. So that way fans can see what is going on with the vibes in New Orleans. Also, check out that Instagram page, One Time for the Fan, so you guys can find out what is happening behind the scenes here with One Time for the Fan. And we're going to have a great time this weekend down there in Nawlins. Big shout out to the Rise Up Tour fan club. All the Falcon fans will be traveling down. A1, I thank you. T. Will, we talk all the time, man. Thank you so much. And big shout out to those police officers at Mercedes-Benz. You move quick. Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. One time for the fan, from the fan, for the fan.